Yes, you read that right. This is going to be a post review of Flower Delivery by Yuumei Art from Diamond Art Club. Hello everyone, my name is Lena and welcome back to my channel Diamonds and Sparkles. If you are already a subscriber, welcome back, and if you're new here, just hop in. We're going to be talking a little bit more in detail about this canvas. Now, I purchased this canvas in the last restock, and as soon as I got it, I kitted up and started. I mean, I think it took me like a week and a half to start from the time that I got it. I had another one going, but I have to tell you, oh, an alarm, I'm sorry. But I have to tell you, this has been one of the most satisfying diamond paintings I have finished so far. I'm going to go over more of the technical details or information about it, and afterwards I'm going to give you more of my thoughts on the piece. So first and foremost, this diamond painting is from Diamond Art Club. I'm going to try to make a pan over of the entire thing. So here is the top. Here we have a lot of detail in the flowers, Kiki and the cat. And I'm gonna have to do this because all here at the bottom, more flowers. So this is a license kit, of course, from Diamond Art Club. It is by Yuumei Art, and this particular piece is huge, it's humongous. It's 70 centimeters by 102 centimeters. By far, this has been the largest piece I've ever done, and also the one that has taken me the longest, because even though I already completed one that it's very similar in dimensions, it was not the same at all. This has so much confetti. This had more confetti than I actually anticipated. And I decided whenever I start a diamond painting, each piece is different. Sometimes I started at the top left corner, sometimes at the top right corner. But with this one in particular, and if I could give you an advice that maybe you would want to consider, is started as I did. I started it in the bottom. Why? Simply because I knew and I could see very obviously that even though the entire piece has a lot of confetti, there are more places of color blocking at the top and on one of the sides. And here at the bottom, you only have a few places that you can consider kind of color blocky. Like, I don't know, here you have in a small section, a very few amount of colors. Over here as well, you have like one color repeating itself. But other than that, all these flowers, and especially, I think the most confetti heavy for me, the most confetti heavy part was probably like here, or probably here. I remember that working on these sections, I just was grabbing every single color out of my containers. I took them out and very few were remaining, and that was insane. It was such a small section, but you only placed a few drills of every color, and that was kind of a nightmare. But by the time that I got here, where there are more heavy pieces of confetti, I had already, in my opinion, I had already finished the heaviest confetti heavy part, which again, in my opinion, is the entire bottom part. And actually, when I worked on this, there were a few periods of time where I did not work on this piece at all. Some periods were of 3-4 days off, but I had a period of an entire almost a week and a half of this piece completely off, because honestly I was overwhelmed and I didn't even want to think about making this piece. And thankfully I had another pieces going where I just, mix it up to be able to kind of cleanse myself of all of this confetti madness. And don't get me wrong, I love the result, I love the detail, but I think it's something very important that at least I have to do whenever I am working on a specific piece. If I find it to be very heavy, I really think that I need to acknowledge that and listen to how I am feeling, because I don't want to, you know, push myself through something that I am not entirely enjoying to the point of saying, you know what, I cannot work on this anymore and leave it incomplete. Basically, I really wanted to avoid that sort of burned out feeling, if you will. So if there's anything to take from this video, if you have it in your stash, or if you're waiting for a restock, my personal opinion is that it went easier with those two things, starting at the bottom and also mixing it up with other type of diamond paintings. In my case, along with this one, I did some budget canvases. I did a Harry Potter one, the one of the little diamonds that are really cute and simple images that don't require a lot of brain power, and that are also rounds, because this is a square diamond, a square shape diamond painting. So it's a little bit more technical to do a square one, because everything has to fit sort of perfectly in order for the image to turn out right. Now, I say that because by the time I already had that kind of drive to keep on working on this, I had about 40%-ish left of it. I think that it was around here, maybe. I think it was around here, around the feet. And here and up, definitely there are places that are confetti heavy, but you also have places that are very color blocky. And even though if there are like more than 10, 12, 15 colors, at least since I work in bigger sections, for me it was easier because I was not placing just like tendrils out of just one color as with these flowers or other places of the canvas. I was working a lot on one color specific. I think that the places where you can see that the most is under here, in all of these is under here in all of this space. I think this is like some doors. Here as well is pretty color blocky. If we move it here, definitely all of this background color, you have definitely a few colors, but as you can see, is very very color blocky. At the end, I only had one row left, and it was about, I would say about this tall. And I usually work on sections that are bigger, like sections, instead of being this, the sections that I work are usually like, I would say this, but I only had this place. And I actually wanted to start, originally I wanted to start on this side, because I thought, you know what, this side might be easier because it has, might be easier this side, I'm sorry, because it has less colors and is more color blocking than this, that even though they're not as many colors, you still have to change a few more colors. But then I thought better about it and realized that these big chunks over here, are actually ABs. And ABs, although I know they look really pretty, I really like how they look, they are kind of a nightmare to place. I actually found a new method that I think I'm going to be using moving forward, especially in places like this that are very large places of a lot of color blocking on ABs. Now let's go over more of the stacks. This piece I started on I started on February the 3rd and I finished it on March the 12th. This was my third finish of March. It was my 11th finish of 2024 and my 16th finish overall. It took me 73 hours and 29 minutes. And even though this is around a 39-day period of diamond painting, I took my planner and counted only the days where I diamond painted, and they were only 24. So if I had worked on this without skipping any day working on it, I would have finished it in February. It would have taken me 24 days. Like I would have started on the 3rd and I would have finished it on the 27th or 28th, something like that. But it's absolutely fine. I was not in a rush, as I said. Actually, one of my goals for this month was not even to finish this because I didn't want to rush it. I didn't want it to burn out. But I guess that the closer I saw the finish line and how it all was turning out, I just got more motivated, and I just decided to, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And there were no times from that moment on where I feel like drained or overwhelmed, like the first time when I decided to take those breaks in doing this diamond painting. Now, this one had 81 colors in total, and it has 7 ABs and 4 fairy dust. And I'm gonna show you those colors right now. These 7 colors were the ones that you could find here placed. These were the 7 ABs, and I'm gonna try to show you, if I can find them, where every color is. Not in the entire piece, but just in some places. Let's start with number 1. This number 1 is kind of like a cream color, kind of. You can see the coating over there. And actually, this color is in this big spot over here. You can see how it shines. I think you can see how it shines. So all of these is the number 1. This is definitely the biggest area with this color that I can find. The second AB was this red. It's like a red, like a very warm red. You can see there the coating. And I think the most distinct place where you can find it, it's definitely in Kiki's bow, a little tiny bit in the shoes. And there's other places also, like in some flowers, but for me it's more significant here in her bow. Now, number 3 and 4 are this pink and this purple, but once I placed them, I was struggling a little bit to look at the difference, but here you can see they're very distinct, like not placed on the canvas, but once they're on the canvas, I really, at least me personally, I have to look very, very closely to the places where these colors look like they are, and that works a little bit better for my brain. But I'm gonna get you a close-up for you to see the difference between these 2 colors. So right here we have the purple one and the pink one. Actually, here in the camera the difference looks a little bit more than in person, but yes, you can see more clearly where the purple is and where the pink is. And in general, all the purple and pinks is in all these purpley flowers over here. A lot of the accents are just pink and purple ABs, which it's stunning. Now for number 5. This number 5 is a very light, like pastel yellow. I love this color, like in general, not only here in the ABs. Oh, I'm dropping a little bit of the drills. One fell. Where is it? I heard that one fell on the canvas. Oh, here it is. No, it is not. Yes, here it is. Okay, so this color is in the outline of all the name here that it says Kika Delivery. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can see it better here, like in all of the outline of the letters. You can also see it here in this little plant over here. It highlights some places of the windows in here. And it is here in some detail of the flowers at the bottom, like here and here. And also some of the yellow flowers over here. Now our sixth special drill, that is also an AB. This is a very, very vibrant green. I really enjoy this color as well. And I would say this is the most spare out of all of the ABs. You can find it in some of the details here at the bottom, like it is in some of these plants, and in some of these plants in the bottom. It's a sprinkle throughout the places where you can see green, but definitely I would say it's more towards the bottom of it. And our last AB is this blue. It is again a very vibrant, it's not teal, but it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's a very vibrant, kind of a sky blue. Yeah, I don't know how to say this color because I'm not good at that. Now, this color, you can find it in many places throughout the canvas, but I would say that their most prominent place are over here in the corner. All of this corner are those ABs, and also in these parts of the window, in all of these places. Okay, those are where all of our ABs are. And now let's go to our fairy dust. Here we have our 4 fairy dust colors. They're definitely my favorite type of drills to paint with. I just love it. Whenever I'm placing them and I just see the shimmering coat on it, it's just mesmerizing. But here we have a yellow one, a very like baby blue, and 2 types of green. One is more like a lime green and one is more like a pastel-y type of green. Now this yellow one, we can find it pretty much in every single place where we can see some tone of yellow, because this one was the only one like true yellow that we had in this kit. Other than the AB one, I think this was the only like specifically yellow. Like every single place where you spot some yellow is this fairy dust color. This other fairy dust color, you actually can find it in a very large place in the top part. I think that's where it's more prominent. You also have it sprinkled in other places where you can see blue, but very in just detailing some stuff. But here at the top, all of these is this specific blue, and it looks gorgeous, to be honest. Definitely these are my favorite drill to work with, fairy dust. Then we have this more muted green that is also a fairy dust. We can find it in some places here, for example, and it really is sprinkled, you know, everywhere. We have a little here in the name, over here in these parts, also in this part of like the window door. I'm not really sure of what that is. Just have sprinkled around everywhere. And I think this one was my favorite of all of the fairy dusts. Basically every lime green that you see in the canvas, it's gonna be this one, especially here in the bottom. All these parts where you can spot this lime green is that a special drill, so I love it. So for this diamond painting in particular, we placed a total of 114,929 drills. Now I did not count this one. Whenever I have a diamond painting from Diamond Art Club where it says how many drills there are, I'm just gonna trust them. I'm not gonna break my head trying to figure out if that is the correct number. This canvas is too big to, you know, not to trust the source of the diamond painting in general. But yes, this is officially the biggest one that I've worked on and the most confetti heavy that I have worked on. Definitely 100%. Is it intimidating? Absolutely. It is daunting, and by experience I can tell you that it's quite easy to feel overwhelmed and to not want to work on this piece at certain moments. And what I want you to know is that that is perfectly and absolutely normal. After all, diamond painting is a hobby. It's a craft that we do for fun. It's a craft that we do because we enjoy it, because it brings us peace, because it relaxes us, it helps us with anxiety, because we enjoy the beautiful paintings and just the sparkliness of our diamonds. But if at any time you start to feel overwhelmed, it's definitely a sign to maybe move to a simpler piece or to another piece. As I said, what I did was to just combine it with other type of paintings, and eventually the last time that I came to it, I couldn't stop working on it, and that was basically what I did, not to feel so overwhelmed by it. Because I have seen in a group and many places that that's what people are most worried about, this particular diamond painting, because they see it so big and with so much confetti that they just cannot fathom starting, let alone finishing it. But if you have it on your stash, or if you have it on your wish list, hoping to get it on the next restock, I would say go ahead. This is a piece that is going to ask from you a lot of patience, but it's totally and absolutely worth it. I loved every second of it, and I just, yeah, every time that I looked at a new section, when you're so close up in a place and you don't see that anything is taking shape, and you just, you know, step back a little bit and you see how it's turning out to be, it's just this feeling of, oh yes, this is what I've been working on. And that happened to me actually with the face of the cat, the face of Kiki, and with the broom, and also with the bike that is at the bottom. That when I was working on it, my mind, like, I tried to make the image in my head of what I was placing, but it didn't make sense. And then I finished the section, I stepped like back, and I was like, oh my god, yes, this is what I'm doing, and I'm loving it. So go ahead and work on it. Now, something that I always forget and that I always want to mention is the trash drills. Every time that you're working on a diamond painting, you're going to find drills that are not like the best quality, and for me, sometimes I just put them in at a side for trash drills, and sometimes, depending on what that particular defect on the diamond is, I place it no problem. But this one, you know, taking into consideration the size of this diamond painting, these were the drills that are trash. Most of them are the darker colors. They had a lot of taps on the corners and around. Some of them had like these little bubbles that are formed on top. But even though, you know, this is a very small amount of drills, to be honest. And I would say that half of these is just drills that I misplaced, or that I didn't realize that went flying out, and then I found them and I was then too lazy to put them back in place because I had no idea which symbol or DMC code it was. I was just like, well, if I'm missing this color, I'm gonna just come and try to find a similar one here in the trash. But yeah, it's basically no trash, you know, considering the amount of drills that we're placing here. So you guys, here we go. This is my post review of flower delivery. I hope that my insights into this piece help you decide on whether or not you would want to acquire it if you don't have it, or start working on it if you have it on your stash, or if it motivates you if you're stuck in this piece because you're so overwhelmed because of the size and the confetti. I just want to say that it's worth it. In whichever state you might be right now, it's worth it. And again, if you are considering this and it turns out not to be your cup of tea, we have too many diamond paintings to count, and you can try, you know, maybe later, maybe never, we don't know. But yeah, regardless of your decision towards this diamond painting in particular, I hope you enjoyed my review and you can go with a little more insight into the piece. Thank you so much for watching. To all of my subscribers that are returning, thank you so much for the support. If you're new to this channel and you would like to see more diamond painting content, you can go ahead and subscribe. At the end of the video, I'm gonna leave a playlist of my other post reviews, so you can go ahead and watch them, or just, you know, watch any video that you would like to see in my channel. Again, thank you so much for watching, and see you all guys later. Bye bye.